If you're planning a project for your home, you already know that choosing the right material is, well, everything. So today, we're going to do a deep dive into a timeless classic, limestone. Think of this as your complete guide to getting it right.
You know, this quote is just perfect for anyone about to start a building project, because real success in construction, it's all about having a solid plan and, you guessed it, choosing the right materials from the get-go. And we're about to focus on one that has seriously stood the test of time.
So what's on your mind? Are you dreaming of a beautiful new facade for your house? Or maybe a charming garden wall? An elegant new patio, perhaps? If any of that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Picking the material is one of the biggest calls you'll make, and we're here to help you nail it.
All right, let's get right into it. What is it about limestone? Why is it still a top choice for builders and homeowners literally century after century? What's the secret behind its enduring appeal?
So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, limestone is a natural sedimentary rock. You can kind of think of it as layers of history, all compressed together. It's mostly made of calcium carbonate, and we quarry it straight from the earth. And why do we love it so much for building? It comes down to two simple things. It's incredibly strong, and it's undeniably beautiful.
And those core qualities, they translate into some serious real-world benefits. I mean, we're talking about exceptional longevity. This isn't something you'll replace in 20 years. This stuff is built to last for generations. It holds up against really harsh weather, it acts as a natural insulator to help with your energy bills, and, this is a big one, it's non-combustible, which gives you fantastic fire protection.
Okay, so limestone sounds pretty great, right? But how does it actually stack up against all the other options out there? Let's put it to the test and do a little head-to-head comparison.
First up, the big one, natural limestone versus stone veneer. This is the classic trade-off, really. Natural limestone, yeah, it has a higher upfront cost, but what you get is that authentic, one-of-a-kind look and a lifespan that's just unmatched. Stone veneer, on the other hand, is definitely easier on the wallet and simpler to install, but it just won't last as long. And let's be honest, it just can't replicate the unique, natural character of the real thing.
So what about other natural materials? Well, put it next to granite, and you'll find limestone is way easier to work with, which means more options for custom shapes. Compared to sandstone, it's less porous, so it's going to resist water damage and weathering much better. And when you compare it to brick, well, limestone just has this natural, elegant look that's in a class of its own.
Okay, let's say you're sold on the benefits. What's the next step? Let's walk through the first big practical part of any project, actually sourcing your stone.
Now, before you even think about calling a supplier, you have to make a key decision. What form is your limestone going to take? Are you looking for the intricate detail you get from smaller bricks? Or do you need the structural heft and scale of larger blocks?
In this choice, it really just comes down to your project's needs. Limestone bricks are absolutely perfect for things like detailed veneers or fancy fireplace surrounds, but they do take more labor to install. The blocks, on the other hand, they're the workhorses. They're fantastic for big structural walls. They go up faster, but you do sacrifice a little bit of that design flexibility.
So, you've chosen your stone. Now it's time for the fun part, bringing your vision to life. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and take a look at the installation process itself.
And you know, this is where limestone really starts to shine. Because it's so much easier to shape and carve than harder stones, the possibilities for custom work are practically endless. We're talking grand archways, elegant columns, totally unique fireplace surrounds. You can even create stunning water features. It just lets you add those truly special architectural details that make a house a home. The whole installation process can really be broken down into 5 key steps. It all starts with preparing the site, getting that foundation just right. Then comes mixing the mortar to the perfect consistency. The real artistry happens during stone placement, where each piece is carefully set. After that, the joints between the stones are filled and finished, and finally, the whole thing gets a good cleaning and sealing to protect it for years and years to come.
All right, let's talk about the practical stuff. Money and maintenance. Building with limestone is definitely a long-term investment, so it's super important to understand the costs involved and the care it's going to need.
So what's the bottom line? For a typical project, you can probably expect the total cost, and that includes both materials and labor, to land somewhere between $20 and $60 per square foot. Of course, that's going to vary depending on where you live and how complex your design is, but it's a really solid starting point for your budget.
And yes, you can absolutely manage that budget. The trick is to plan ahead. Get quotes from a few different contractors. Here's a great tip. Sourcing your limestone from a local quarry can save you a ton on transportation costs.
Also, simplifying the design can cut down on labor time, and hey, don't ever be afraid to negotiate a little with your suppliers.
Okay, so once that beautiful limestone is all installed, the next job is just protecting your investment. And to make sure it really does last for generations, you just need to know a few key things about how to care for it.
These are pretty much the most common things to keep an eye out for. Small cracks might show up as the house settles. That's normal. You might see something called spalling. That's just when the stone surface flakes a bit, usually because of water. And over a long time, the mortar between the stones will need to be repaired or repointed. The key is just catching these things early to avoid bigger problems down the road.
You know, when it comes right down to it, the materials you choose for your home, they become a part of its identity, its legacy. They tell a story about permanence, about your style, about strength. So the real question is, what material are you going to choose to write your home story in?